morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the top stories so far. Heads of the states and governments of the BIMSTEC member nations stress on the necessity of mutual cooperation, trade expansion and communication network. BIMSTEC nations plan for a first joint army exercise in India immediately after the ongoing BIMSTEC summit. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasizes on the need for a joint army drill. US President Donald Trump threatens to withdraw the US from the World Trade Organization if the body fails to change the way it treats America. And Croatian midfielder Luka Modric voted the UEFA Player of the Year. Former Real Madrid player David Beckham was honored by the UEFA President's Award. Let us begin with the latest national political updates. Heads of the states and governments of the BIMSTEC member nations have stressed on the necessity of mutual cooperation, trade expansion and communication network. Speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the 4th BIMSTEC summit in Kathmandu yesterday, heads of the states and governments of the member nations stressed on the need of mutual cooperation. All the leaders expressed concern on the failure of BIMSTEC to gain momentum despite the lapse of 20 years since its formation. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli said that BIMSTEC and SAARC were support systems for each other. He added that BIMSTEC was a medium of integration of Southeast and Southwest Asia. He was of the belief that infinite opportunities were in existence based on the natural resources and active population of the nations of these regions.
Imbued with the creative ingenuity and diligence of our peoples, opulence and generosity of the nature, richness and depth, the civilization and magnificence of diverse cultures and heritages. And this unique platform of BIMSTEC not only connects our countries, it also connects South Asia with Southeast Asia. And it connects mountains with oceans, reinforcing ecological interdependence.
Speaking at the inaugural session, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi stressed on holding army exercise to Buddhist summit among the BIMSTEC member nations. He also highlighted the need to expand communication network among the member nations.
भारत में आयोजित की जा रही BIMSTEC मल्टीनेशनल मिलिट्री फील्ड ट्रेनिंग एक्सरसाइज माइलेक्स और थल सेना प्रमुखों की कॉन्क्लेव का मैं हृदयपूर्वक स्वागत करता हूं.
Likewise, heads of the state of other member nations also stressed on trade expansion among the member nations. The leaders were of the opinion that employment opportunities could be created with mutual cooperation in the region. The summit is to formulate a master plan for land and waterway network among the BIMSTEC member nations. Common strategy against terrorism and development of an integrated transmission line of electricity at the regional level are also among the priorities. The summit will conclude today after issuing the Kathmandu Declaration. Meanwhile, heads of state and government of all visiting 7 member nations jointly met President Vidya Devi Bhandari yesterday. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli hosted a dinner for the participating guests yesterday. And moving on, the BIMSTEC nations have planned for a first joint army exercise in India immediately after the ongoing BIMSTEC summit. While addressing the summit during its inauguration yesterday, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized on the need for a joint army drill. While all the nations have agreed, it is unclear if the step would be a political necessity or a compulsion for Nepal. The Indian government has prepared for the joint army drill, citing it would help in controlling terrorism, increase cooperation between the nation to fight against organized crimes and disaster management. As per the plans, a platoon from each country consisting of 5 officers and 25 other army members will attend the training at the Indian city of Pune from 10th to 16th of September. The Nepal Army has said it has already started the preparations. The joint army drill will be the first of its kind to be participated by the Nepal Army that has previously only taken part at bilateral army exercises. So far, Nepal has conducted bilateral army drill with Thailand, Sri Lanka and India. The joint army exercise can also be taken as a hint of sectoral political cooperation. However, its repercussions and continuity has drawn the interest of majority of the stakeholders. The joint exercise has the potential to strengthen military relations. However, it is important for Nepal to adapt appropriate diplomacy to take advantage of the situation. Now, the main priorities of the ongoing 4th BIMSTEC summit are expansion of transportation network, development of infrastructures, energy and tourism sector, trade and investment between the member nations. In order to attain these goals, a strong secretariat is a must, and so is collaboration and cooperation between the people of these nations. During its inception, the first of 6 issues that BIMSTEC nations focused on were trade and investment, technical assistance, energy, transportation and communication, tourism and fish trade. The number of issues identified since then has now gone up to 16. However, the lack of strong organizational structure and weak association has left the multi-sectoral cooperation organization partially ineffective. The BIMSTEC Secretariat, formed 4 years ago, failed to take pace right from the start. Economists have opined the ongoing BIMSTEC summit needs to establish a strong secretariat and concrete plans to implement the agreements that will be made on all prioritized issues to attain a full meaning of its existence. The BIMSTEC summit is discussing on the establishment of a joint investment fund for development. Experts have opined Nepal can make the best out of BIMSTEC if it can attract foreign investments in tourism and infrastructure sector from this summit. A high-level government team has decided to officially call 13 protesting parties and groups for a dialogue. The government had formed a high-level negotiation committee under the coordination of NCP lawmaker Som Prasad Pandey last week to address the demands made by the protesting groups. The team has been directed to hold discussions with Netra Bikram Chand of Nepal Communist Party and the coordinator of Free Madhesh Alliance, C.K. Raut, along with other parties and group of former Maoist combatants. Leaders and cadres of several parties that are in the list of invitees for the discussions are currently held by the government itself. NCP spokesperson Khadka Bahadur Vishwakarma and leader Uma Bhujel were taken into custody by the police while several other groups went underground. The government has initiated efforts for the talks as it believes the transitional period has ended with the implementation of the constitution and that development and prosperity is now the national agenda. The Kathmandu metropolis had announced of operating night bus service 6 years ago. However, the plans have not come to life yet, leaving many passengers in the need of the night bus service. Following an official function, the Kathmandu metropolis had started the night bus service from 12th of August 2012. The metropolis office had even provided transportation entrepreneurs small grant for the purpose. However, the night bus service was shut down after around 4 months. The metropolis instead provided 100 million rupees to the Saja company, citing the need to make the city transportation effective. Although night bus service was also one of their service list, Saja bus so far has only been operating till 8 in the evening. Due to the lack of night service, public have to face numerous problems, especially for those who have to return home in the late hours and those who have to visit hospitals. While campaigning in the local level elections, Kathmandu's Mayor Vidya Sundar Shakya had committed he would start the night bus service. However, despite 1 year since he took the office, Shakya has not taken any initiative in this regard. The Kathmandu Metropolis Office has also said the night bus service is not in their plans as the number of passengers using the night bus service in the past was not enough. The Kathmandu Metropolis spends more than 13 billion rupees annually, despite the fact that Kathmandu is the country's capital and also the first city to be declared a metropolis. The lack of night bus shows the Metropolitan Office's indifference to the public's need. Despite the lapse of a month and a half since Nepal Rashtra Bank's declaration to allow commercial banks to trade the securities through its monetary policy, further procedure remained to be taken forward. While the commercial banks say that they are waiting for the directive of the Rashtra Bank, the central bank states that it is waiting for applications from the commercial banks. Issuing the monetary policy on 11th of July this year, Nepal Rashtra Bank had declared of providing broker license to the commercial banks. However, Nepal Rashtra Bank, despite directing for implementation of other provisions of the monetary policy, is yet to clarify on allowing the commercial banks to trade the securities. According to Nepal Rashtra Bank, commercial banks could open a sister concern for operation as a broker agency. However, it is yet to clarify on the format, structure and legal procedures required to be followed. Rashtra Bank has claimed that the monetary policy has already clarified the procedures, adding that a separate directive would not be necessary, and has noted that the banks can directly file an application. The central bank has said that procedure for trade of securities remains to be taken forward as the banks are yet to submit their applications. However, Securities Board of Nepal, SEBON, is of the opinion that the central bank should open doors for trade of securities. Elsewhere, securities traders have been indirectly lobbying the Rashtra Bank against allowing the commercial banks to step into securities transactions. Now, yesterday we had asked the locals of Province 7 what might be the reason behind the delay in declaration of province capital. In our Public Voice segment, let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
यसमा चाहिँ नि यो विवाद छ र यसलाई सल्टाउन सबैको आफ्नो आफ्नो सकस हो। तराई राख्ने कि पहाड राख्ने कि तराईमा पनि कैलालीको धनगढी राख्ने कि गोदावरी राख्ने कि यही समस्याले गर्दा यो ढिला भएको हुन सक्छ। यहाँका जनप्रतिनिधिहरूले पार्टीको व्हिपलाई चाहिँ मान्नुपर्ने बाध्यता भएको कारणले यिनीहरूले चाहिँ यसलाई बाहिर ल्याउन सकिरहेको छैन।
नेताहरूको आन्तरिक स्वार्थका कारणले गर्दाखेरि नै उपयुक्त ठाउँको किटान नभएको हो।
कतिले दिवाली भने कतिले धनगढी भने अब त्यो सबै कुराहरू मिलाउनको लागि समय लाग्यो।
आफ्नै लडाई झगडाका कारणले गर्दाखेरि तोक्न नसकिरहेका छन्।
दलगत स्वार्थका कारणले गर्दा नेताहरूको स्वार्थका कारणले गर्दा राजधानीको नामाकरण गर्नमा ढिला भएको छ।
विभिन्न पार्टीका नेताहरूले जो हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ एउटा सामूहिक रूपमा छलफल गरेर जो नाम एउटा उपस्थित हुन्छ त्यसलाई छिटो छिटो निर्णय गरेको राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on civil servants' fascination with international trips? Your options are A. Misuse of national coffer, B. Nexus with the donor agencies, and C. Willingness to learn. The voting for that question is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will be at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur TV HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.